I need to jump into something, but before I do, hi everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Chris Chambers. For Gen Z, I'm Unc Status. I'm 42 years old. I have to start with that because I'm going to get right into the topic. I want to have an honest conversation about what it's like to observe the Jordan versus LeBron debate, particularly on platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Here's the interesting thing about all of this, right? Number one, full disclosure, I have autism spectrum disorder. Part of my relational journey with the women in my life over the last 20 plus years or so, and eventually at a certain point, every woman tells me I'm emotionless. So I qualify that because I have no emotional attachment to my childhood. I don't see a mythical creature in Michael Jordan. See, the debate around Michael and LeBron has gotten really strange to me. Now, at 9 years old, I had the olive and blacks, and I got jumped. I was living in a really rough neighborhood. I got jumped. Four people took them off my feet. I've literally been beat up over Jordan shoes. Now, I went and got my older brother, and we got them back. We had to use the same tactics, but my whole point is that I know that a big part of the reason why Michael Jordan is beloved the way that he is number one, if you just could afford a pair of Jordans, you had social status. So for those who may have been not popular or didn't have social skills that they could use to entertain people, you could just show up with a new pair of Jordans and people are like, oh my God. So Michael Jordan gave you cool by proxy if you lived in that era. He gave you status because you could put his shoes on your feet. Number one, emotional attachment to Michael is the shoes. Number two, and I'm going to be a little funny here, but I want to be like Mike. He had catchy songs. I believe I could fly. Now, I can't really sing, so I ain't gonna do that no more, but y'all get my point. There goes two other emotional ties. A lot of this is emotion around somebody who made you feel cool or made you go back to a childhood moment, unless you're Gen Z and you're claiming that Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. And I'm going to try to figure out why that is as I go forward. But let me go into the debate. Let's start with the central debate for Michael Jordan. He went 6 for 6 in the finals. He was perfect. Despite the fact that he played 15 seasons and only made the final 6 times. Now, for comparison, if we're going to have a GOAT debate, Magic Johnson made it 9, Kareem made it 10, and Kobe made it 7. LeBron made it 10. Why couldn't I honestly set the bar for greatest of all time at 7 finals appearances? Now, I get it, Jordan fans. I get it right now. Oh, come on, Chris. Come on. 6 championships. But Kareem had 6 and 6 finals MVPs. And he had the most points all time when Jordan was becoming the greatest of all time. The weird thing that I'm observing as I watch people furiously defend this legacy of Michael Jordan to be the greatest of all time is that we're not actually having a conversation about the greatest basketball player of all time. We have condensed the conversation to the greatest finals performer of all time. Basketball is a game of defense, a game of offense. Here are the statistical categories. There's scoring, there's rebounding, there's assisting, there is stealing. We're just going to use those 4 buckets. In those 4 buckets, Michael Jordan didn't score 33,000 points, which Kobe, LeBron, and Kareem did. He did not grab 10,000 plus rebounds, which LeBron and Kareem have. He has not assisted 10,000 times, which Magic and LeBron have. We're just talking about those players. Michael Jordan has an edge in steals. And here's what's going to happen right here with the Jordan fans. And it's something that's really interesting. See, LeBron has played for 23 seasons, so the natural thing is, oh, he's got longevity. He's ring chasing. Hold on a second now. I'm a football guy. I know that Ray Lewis doesn't have the most championships as a linebacker, but I know his 17 years is applauded. I know that Tom Brady, the reason why we can just say, hey, you goated up, is because you got the most rings, the most touchdowns, and the most passing yards. You're statistically dominant and you're championship dominant. The one thing Michael lacks is any statistical dominance. Wait, Jordan fans, I hear you. You're coming in. Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. 10 scoring titles. This is how I read this. It's interesting. 10 scoring titles. But you don't even have 33,000 points. Karl Malone scored more points than you because he played longer. Jerry Rice from football played 20 seasons in the NFL like a Tom Brady. And we applaud the longevity of that. But when it comes to LeBron James, it's a knock against him. Now, I'm somebody who speaks directly and literally. It's a function of autism. I'm going to tell you. It seems really weird that people can't do what I'm about to do. I, Chris Chambers, can acknowledge that LeBron James is far more accomplished than anything I will ever do in his life, and my opinion of his career actually has no value because he's living it, I'm observing it. And then they can't do this. Michael Jordan's accomplishments have absolutely nothing to do with my life. I should not be trying to live vicariously through his accomplishments to tear down a human who's far more accomplished than I ever will be in LeBron. The Jordan versus LeBron debate really, I mean, it's cool that everybody wants to engage in a conversation and I'm all for it, but we're getting very close to a level of mental illness in this conversation because it's mentally ill for the position that people take when they want to tear down a man in LeBron James to build up a man who genuinely wouldn't sell you $4,000 if your transmission went out in your car. I don't even understand why you're fighting that hard for a mythical spot. Greatest of all time? Okay. So I'm gonna meet the Jordan fans where they are. Come on in. We got 6 for 6, right? The weird thing about the way that a finals loss works in people's minds is they act like you're in last place. To get to the NBA finals, you have to win your conference. You have to win a championship in your conference. So, Jordan has 6 NBA finals, 6 conference championships, and 2 gold medals. That's a total of 14 championships. NBA, conference, and world. LeBron James has 4 NBA titles, 10 conference championships, and 3 gold medals. He has 17 titles, 17 championships. Well, Jordan fans, are you telling me that the only championships that matter are the NBA finals? Okay. Then you're going to tell me that the reason why Bill Russell cannot be at 11 championships, why he cannot be considered the greatest of all time, is because of the era he played in without really acknowledging that the era that LeBron is in is 30 to 40 years past where Michael Jordan is. I was born in 1984 when Jordan was drafted. I'm 42. If you're going to say that Bill Russell cannot be the greatest of all time because his era, then you're going to need to do a time measurement between when Bill Russell played and Michael Jordan played. And then you're going to do a time measurement between when Michael Jordan finished playing and LeBron. Because what you will find is you're making the same argument for LeBron's greatness. And I call him great. Michael Jordan is great too. That's cool. Like, hey, cool, man. I'm glad that like people have like sports heroes that they can rally behind. But we have to understand we're having a debate about the greatest basketball player of all time. And the way that the Jordan fans come across the argument sounds something like this. I walk up to you out in the society and say, hey, we're going to run as fast as we can. I run for 200 meters. You run for 100 meters, but you run the fastest 60 of the 100 meters. You make it 150 meters. Let me be more accurate. I blew past you and finished at 200 and what would be now 30 meters, 1 year for 10 meters in a career. Michael Jordan had a 150-meter career. LeBron has a 230-meter career. And what you're going to say is, well, there were 60 meters where I was just so dominant. There were 10 meters where I was just so dominant. Dominant compared to what? Dominant compared to what? Because what happened the other 9 years that you were playing, Michael Jordan, fans? What happened? I know you weren't playing, but since you own his career, I'm going to just ask you. I had somebody tell me it was his mentality and the process that ultimately makes him the greatest of all time. And I was like, what kind of nonsense is that? Because what we absolutely don't do after we tear down Scottie Pippen for being there for all 6 of the championships, we don't acknowledge the 11 championship winning coach that Jordan had. Phil Jackson. See, that's something Kobe and Jordan have in common. Phil Jackson. 11 championships. That don't make a difference? Well, he stayed. He didn't go ring chasing. Like, be honest with yourself. Be honest in your heart of hearts, right? If you are in a position in your industry where you could walk up to any of the best in class in your industry, let's say you're in tech, and you could be at whatever firm you at. Let's say you're in a little firm in Ohio, and you can go over to OpenAI and command whatever you want. You wouldn't do it? You could go to Apple and command whatever you want. You wouldn't do it? See, a part of it is envy. It's that he had the pull to be able to go where he wanted. Social mobility. It's a strange dynamic, but I love it because it gives me an opportunity to observe society. Part of my doctoral research is in mental models and AI architecture. Both are rooted in the human mind and the way it functions. And one of the things I see in this incredible opportunity to engage people to understand how do they structure their qualifications for the greatest of all time basketball player. For Jordan fans, it's simple, simple, simple. He went 6 for 6 in the finals. But let me ask you this. I've laid out Magic, Kareem, Kobe, and LeBron up there with Jordan, all 5. Well, let's do this. If we say the greatest of all time had to score over 33,000 points, play in the NBA for 20 years, and make at least 7 conference championships, 7 finals. Do you know that still leaves Kareem and that still leaves Kobe along with LeBron? 6 finals, 6 MVPs, 6 final wins, Kareem, with 38,000 points. Kobe, 5 championships, 7 appearances, 36,000 points, I believe he ended up with. And LeBron, 4 championships, 10 conference finals, and 43,000 points. Just on scoring alone. Why does it have to be this strange twisting of reality to try to make me forget? Now remember, I'm 42. I watched when Michael left. I watched when he returned. I watched when Shaq and Penny bounced him. No, that didn't happen. Anytime Michael Jordan loses, it doesn't happen. The reason why we don't remember Michael Jordan's losses the way we remember LeBron's is because he didn't even get to the finals to lose. He didn't even get there. NBA Finals is like the gold medal and the silver medal. And what a lot of the Jordan fans will have you believe is that just because you were running behind Usain Bolt in second place, that you ain't great. What? That's ridiculous. Usain Bolt, for example, has the world records in the gold. I can't just stop counting at 6. Statistically, Michael Jordan is not the greatest at anything at all. He doesn't have the most points per game in a season. That's Wilt. He doesn't have the most rebounds. That's Wilt. He doesn't have the most points. LeBron. He doesn't have the most assists. That's John Stockton. He doesn't have the most steals. That's John Stockton. He doesn't have the most MVPs of the league. That's Kareem. He doesn't have the most championships. That's Bill Russell. It's the shoes. They even said it years ago. Is it the shoes? I get it. But for people who are in my generation of millennials, my Gen Xers, man, it's crazy here. It's crazy. Because I remember the first time I saw Vince Carter, and I knew, I was like, oh, Jordan don't jump like that. If you're watching the 18-year-old LeBron in the only dunk contest he was in the McDonald's All-American, and you compare it to a 25-year-old Michael Jordan, you can clearly see that that 18-year-old child is physically superior to Michael Jordan. It has nothing to do with degrading Michael Jordan. You just can obviously see it. It's there for you. There's too many conversations that are not productive when it comes to how you have a debate in society about who and how we measure the accomplishments of other humans healthy. Is there a healthy way to have this debate? I don't know. I decided to jump in because I got tired of people trying to convince me of something that ain't true. That the only time that I can count somebody's career is when they make it to the NBA finals, even though I know from coming from a sports family, my uncle was the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals when they went to the Super Bowl. Yes, they lost, but they won the NFC championship. He also won as a director of player personnel with the Bears. So he has a Super Bowl and 2 conference championships to his resume. Hey, I'm not about to take that away from him. You're like, oh, you lost in the Super Bowl, so you ain't nothing. Like, you have any idea how hard it is to just get to the championship game? No, you don't, because you didn't play. You didn't play. We got to have a better conversation. Greatest of all time. Of all time. That's the problem. We're at a point in time. Greatest of all time should mean something, but we move the bar for Michael Jordan because we loved, I want to be like Mike. I told you I wasn't going to do it again, but I did. We love the shoes. Let's have it real. What we should be saying about Tom Brady is you can't be the greatest of all time because you lost in the Super Bowl. That'd be stupid. That'd be stupid to say. He has the most throwing yards, passing wise. He has the most touchdowns. It'd be stupid to even talk to him that way. Just because he lost in the Super Bowl. Well, he has the most rings. Michael Jordan does not have the most rings. So that invalidates your argument. Barry Bonds in baseball. Controversial or not, most home runs, only player with 500 home runs and 500 stolen bases. Absolute monster. Greatest baseball player of all time. It doesn't have anything to do with championships. We can argue it, but he was a 5-tool player. Of all time. It's the sport. The championships are a reflection of good front office work. When you have a great front office, you're going to win. Because here's the thing that nobody really talks about with LeBron. Why don't you look at the Cleveland Browns football team? Do you know that Cleveland sports, until LeBron got them a chip, between Jim Brown in the 60s and LeBron James, the Cleveland sports scene is atrocious because of the geographic area. Nobody wants to live in Cleveland. Nobody with real high functioning aptitude that can get it done. That's why he left. And that's why people were upset. That's why they burned his jersey. That's why, and to some people, he can never be the greatest because he, in an instant of a decision, showed people something that they could never do. They never have control over their future. He controlled his. He controlled his. And I can't be mad at the man for that. But the Jordan versus LeBron debate, as I close this off, hey, it's up to you what you want to believe, but I'm going to leave it here. Here's my qualifications for GOAT. You got to have at least 33,000 points. You have to have at least 7,000 rebounds. You have to have at least 6,000 assists. You have to have at least 7 finals appearances and 2 gold medals. Well, LeBron meets those qualifications. Michael doesn't. And I count far higher than 6. NBA finals are not the only measurement of an NBA player. Let's engage healthily, stop living vicariously through Michael to tear down LeBron, and overall just enjoy the fact that, like, as soon as he retires, we're going to be like, crap, I wish I would have enjoyed that. Peace.